Welcome to episode 84 of A Message From. We are your hosts. I'm Edward.
I'm Alyson.
Today we're talking about hiking, my favorite topic. But first, I hope that you can't hear the hammering in the background of my audio. They have been hammering something somewhere in my building. No, sorry. I don't even know if it's in my building. For the past hour and a half, consistently. I don't know how this man's arm isn't tired. It's driving me crazy.
That's
every
the worst.
Building on my street is under construction in some facet. So it's driving me crazy, but I just needed to disclaimer.
I hate it. I literally moved out of my apartment due to construction. So
true. Yes. And I'm not usually a person who really cares that much about noise, but this is shaking my floor.
Yeah, well, that's why I moved. The construction was so vigorous on my building that my apartment was shaking nonstop. That's too much noise. Yeah, whatever. Most people in my building like to slam their door. I don't understand why. Just close it nicely. There's no need to slam these doors, okay? But someone this week, I don't know if there's a new person that's moved in, if someone has moved out, something. Someone has been violently slamming their door this week. And I just want to open my door and be like, what is wrong with you? Who is doing this and why do you feel the need to slam your door and shake the whole building?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. And I don't really care about noise. Like I said, even door slamming, probably doesn't even bother me. I'm just very used to noise.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've been with people who are very sensitive to noise. And I feel for them because that sucks. Because I couldn't live life like this all the time if this is what it's like.
No.
So, anyway, I wanted to bring up that Fedez, who we know now on this podcast is someone that you specifically are very obsessed with. I wouldn't say I'm obsessed with this person, right?
I'm obsessed.
Did you see on the podcast that he does with that other person? Is it called Muschio Selvaggio, or did the thing autocorrect?
That's the name of the podcast, Muschio Selvaggio. Yeah.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if it had autocorrected to something different on the Google Doc after I wrote it.
No.
Did you see who the latest guest was?
Charles Leclerc?
Yes, so you did.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't listen to it.
So here's the thing. He always reposts little clips and stuff on his Instagram stories and all that stuff.
Who?
And I listen to all those, but I never actually go and listen to the podcast.
Fedez or Leclerc?
Fedez.
Oh, okay.
But then the last several weeks, since the GP in Italy, I keep seeing on both their accounts pictures of them together, and then I saw Fedez went and did kind of an experience with him, Charles drove him around in the car and stuff, and I'm like, what's this for? Is it just and Fedez and Chiara were at the Grand Prix, so I'm like, was this just obviously they're both really well-known people, they've probably come across each other before,
That's
just get to do the whole VIP experience. And then it comes out that he was on the podcast.
But I don't think the podcast was in a studio though. Right?
So it was at the track because they did a whole Shaw drove them around in one of the
so it was all part
cars.
of the thing. I thought it was just rich people being rich people.
Well, I mean a little bit of that too. But
yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But it's so
they
funny
haven't put out an
because
episode in a while, I don't think. Sorry, you were saying?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know if I remember seeing him post anything recently, but I was going to say, this is the one thing that has made me be okay, I'm actually going to listen. Because I said, I haven't listened yet, but I put it on my playlist. Because I'm I always say, I should listen to that, and then I never do.
Was it in English?
No.
Does Charles Leclerc speak Italian?
Oh, he speaks beautiful Italian. He's from Monaco, so obviously French is his first language, but his Italian is
He's from Monaco?
Yeah. Impeccable.
Oh, okay.
Wait, did you not know that?
No, I just thought he was French.
Oh, no. He's from Monaco. Like, grew up there, born and raised.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
So.
Okay, that makes sense.
No,
For a moment, I was like, this isn't English? This is weird.
No. His Italian is, like, impeccable.
That makes sense. Feels like a stipulation. I'm sure Fedez and the other guys do speak decent English, but I've never seen an episode that's not in Italian.
Yeah, no. So the
maybe I just haven't looked hard enough. So. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, this will be my like olive branch in terms of I'll talk about Formula One.
Yes, I love it. I was surprised too because like I didn't bring it up with you because I'm just over here freaking out about it by myself because the people that I talk to regularly about Formula One obviously aren't like on the Italian side of things.
Yeah,
so
it's very niche. It's two niche things overlapping.
It was, two very niche things that like brought both of my obsessive worlds together. Yeah. And I was like, who do I share this with? No one.
I don't think you have anyone,
No one. So I was just excited about it all on my own.
I'm trying to think Fedez, like I enjoy obviously, right? Like his music and stuff and all that. I actually just now thinking about it, I haven't seen any of his Instagram posts in a really long time. The algorithm has not shown me anything.
The algorithm just like
surgery
shoves it down my throat. So like my obsession is just like will never die out because he's always there.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so I'm trying to think like what would be my version of that. Of Fedez, but it's not coming to mind at the moment. It's probably Mahmoud.
It's Manu Rios. It's Manu Rios.
No. I mean like Italian.
Oh.
It's Mahmoud.
It's Mahmoud, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Manu Rios would be my Spanish version of that necessarily, but it's definitely a good contender. Definitely a good option. Okay, I did find also two little news stories that were like wacky.
Okay.
My new word, whack. I keep using it all the time. Have you noticed
that? That's whack.
I keep saying things are whack.
Bringing it back. I like it.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so one of the weird news stories, I'm just going to read it to you. It says, have you looked at these?
No.
Okay, good. I'm going to try not to laugh. Tourists duck as plane makes extremely low landing on Greek island of Skiathos. And I was like, how low is this landing? And I looked at the video. It's low.
Like lower than normal?
Like very low. You know how like you come into an airport that's like on the water? Mm-hmm. You know, and you're like, yikes. Like the first time I ever experienced that was...
in Nice? Going to Nice?
Yeah, in high school. And I was like, oh no, we were leaving. But regardless, I was like, are we going to just like drive this plane into the water?
You like, literally are headed straight for the water. And it's like, it doesn't seem like the runway is long enough.
Never does. And sometimes they're actually short. Did you know that? Yeah, that's wild. I hate that. I hate that information. But
apparently
anyway.
That's like one of the toughest airports to fly into and out of. This is what I've heard. This is the rumor that I've heard. I will say though, when I flew to the little island airport in Toronto this year, I was like, okay, wow, this is a top contender. Like little island airport.
Yeah. So this one also is apparently like known for being like a shallow angle come in. Mm-hmm. And so it's like not atypical that it's like quite a low landing for the plane, but this one was apparently like much lower than like usual. And there's like people in the video like, I don't know, just like taking videos of the plane coming in, like people do shit like
this is a weird thing. Have you seen like there are a couple beaches around the world, I don't know where they are, but they're like airplane beaches, and because it is obviously on the water and like the planes come in super close and people will just be like on the beach and their hair is flying everywhere and all the wind is whipping and like because the plane's right there and they're like holding on to like recording the plane.
Wait, so they're there to record the plane or they're there to be at the beach?
I think just to record the plane.
Okay, I would say that's vibing. That's not what I want to say. That corroborates what I'm seeing in this video, which is just like people near this beach-ish with like camera equipment of varying degrees, being cell phones to fancy things, taking video of this Wizz Air.
Oh, it's Wizz
flight. It's Wizz too. Have you ever taken Wizz?
No, I've never taken Wizz, but I've heard all about Wizz.
I'm surprised you're not taking Wizz to Vienna.
No, we're doing Air France.
Wow.
Bougie. It was cheap though. We got a cheap Air France flight, so.
I was gonna say Wizz.
It was like none of the other ones were cheaper. So.
Oh yeah, so like why would you? Yeah.
Why not?
Oh yeah, if I had to do like cheap on Air France versus cheap on Wizz Air, I'm gonna choose Air France.
Cheap on Air France.
Yeah, actually, when I flew Wizz, God, I remember when I left Vienna, I had to like get up at 3 a.m. or something, or 4 a.m. to be at the airport because my flight was like ass early. It's on like my Instagram story archive somewhere. I have to look at it. I see it sometimes when I'm like sad and like flipping through previous like trips I've taken, highlight reels. And it's always like this video of like Vienna. One of them is that, and it's like 5:45 in the morning, me sitting in the airport. Wild. But anyway, that was one of the things I found. Anything else to say about this extremely low plane? Would you be a person who would ever like take a camera?
No, I'm not going to go to the airplane beach with my camera and like wait for the plane to come land. I have so many other sites to take photos of. Look, if you could see my camera.
You also have no storage on your,
Well, what I did the other day, this actually caused me so much anxiety. So it's serious if I'm sitting here saying that something caused me a lot of anxiety.
Yeah,
obviously, I have a Google phone. So all my photos, all my media, everything is backed up on Google, right? So Google Photos, like I can go on my computer, on my phone, whatever. All my photos, all my videos are there. I have also loaded them separately onto my computer and put them also on an external hard drive. So
why?
Because I'm a freak. Everything is backed up. I don't trust like that Google Photos, like that it's not going to delete also on Google Photos. Like when I delete it from my phone, even though it says that it's backed up on Google Photos and it's like gonna be there, like my mind won't let me believe that. So the other day I was like, obviously I'm going on another large trip. There's going to be a lot of photography. There's going to be some videos.
Videography.
I got to make room on my phone. There was like 10 gigs left or something. It was a bleak moment.
There are 10 gigs on your... You take 10 gigs worth of videos and photos?
I don't know. Wait, I think I was like 119 used and I have like 128 or something.
You only have 128 gigabytes on your phone?
Yeah.
Wait, how much is mine? That seems like not a lot in the year of our Lord 2022.
Well, it's not a lot, which is why I have obsessively backed up everything I own.
Oh, fun fact, I have 33,998 photos on my phone and 4,083 videos.
Well, I probably had that too, but so the other day I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to delete these from my phone.
My phone is 256 gigabytes.
I figured.
Yeah. It's also such a bitch with Apple because it makes the phone so much more expensive.
Right? And that's why I have the 128.
Yeah, but I just can't do that because total storage I've used, 143.4 gigabytes.
So here's the problem.
So, what's your problem?
With my current phone that I have, I'm like grandfathered into the old system. Unlimited storage on Google Photos. Like unlimited. But once I upgrade to the next generation phone, I'm going to have a limit of like, I think it's like 100 gigs or something.
But here's the other foot drop, shoe drop of the foot, other thing going on. The other hand. On the other hand.
Okay, come on.
Is it worth having unlimited storage for a phone that won't take as good of photos?
No, for now, yeah, because my phone is so good. But once I upgrade, like, obviously I'm not going to keep this phone for the rest of my life. That's what I'm saying.
That was the vibe.
This is
the vibe
the
came
problem.
from your voice.
That's why I said, here's the problem.
Right. It's a
Once
problem.
I upgrade, I'm not going to have unlimited free storage anymore. But anyway, the purpose of all of this is to say that I did a little test, deleted a video the other day, and then immediately went to Google Photos, and it was still there. So I pressed, because it looks so bleak. It's like, you're almost out of storage space. Clean up. And you click on it and it lists like all the things you should clean up.
Yeah.
And so it's just one button. It's like, it was like something insane, like 58 gigabytes. It was like, make 58 gigabytes of more space by like getting rid of these backed up photos and videos. So I clicked the button and then it immediately started deleting everything. And it was like, we'll give you a notification when it's done. It took a long time, but I was like, here we are, it's, I backed the stuff up. So we're going to be okay.
We're going to be okay. You're going to be totally fine.
We're
Totally
okay,
fine.
and I got plenty of space on my phone, so.
Would you like to take a guess as to what takes up the most space on my phone? Sorry, the little chart just loaded finally, and as I was looking at my phone.
So, normally I would say that it's photos and videos, but I feel like you have an app for everything.
That's
so
I don't even
I'm
have
gonna.
that many apps.
You don't?
Hold on, let me go back to that page that said how much it's on my. I only have 177 apps.
177 is insane.
That does seem like a lot, but honestly, I don't know what they are. I literally don't know what they are.
Okay, well, I would have said for sure apps are taking up the most space on your phone, but if that's not,
are.
See,
by like a long shot, the little bar is like
because you have an app
apps.
for everything.
But I don't. I deleted apps.
Here's the thing. I delete apps after if there's going to be a lull in the period of time that I need them because I don't have the space on my phone. So like
true.
every country that I go to, I have like all the transport apps and everything. The Delta app always stays on my phone, but like if I'm flying British Airways or like something else, I'll download their app. And then once I'm done, I got to delete it for more space.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm going to delete right now, live on the pod. I'm going to delete Arrive Can. Don't need that. Going to delete the Condor app. Don't need her. Don't need the Deutsche Bahn app. Haven't used that in 3 years. Don't need EasyJet. I could keep going. Flixboost. Don't need that either. What the hell is wrong with me?
Well, now I'm in the
Iberia.
Yeah, so I had Iberia last year, but I deleted that. But now I'm in the stage where like I had to re-download the SNCF app for like French trains. I'm gonna download the mobile app for the like Hungarian transport system. So when I'm in Budapest, I can just get like a mobile metro pass.
Budapest. That makes sense. Yeah. I just don't apparently get rid of them. But I'm doing it right now.
You're doing it right now. So we're going to take a little break while you delete your apps. And we will be back with a message about hiking.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Alyson here. Just wanted to say that we want to hear from you. So send us a message at 202-630-4509 or email us at amessagefrompod@gmail.com. Also, don't forget to rate and review and check out amfpod.com for bonus content. Now back to the show.
Welcome back from the break. I deleted a ton of travel apps specifically. Almost deleted the Wigo España app because I was like, I'm not in France, but it's Wigo España. I do need that app on my phone.
You need to keep that.
I do. Anyway, today we had said that we're going to talk about hiking because Pilar sent in a message. Here it is.
Well, hello, pod. Autumn is upon us almost, which means the leaves are going to turn beautiful colors and everything's going to be really pretty here. And that means that I once again want to go hiking. Edward is not the biggest hiker. I've always wanted him to go hiking with me, and I've always wanted to go hiking and never made it out. So this is the year. This is the year. But yeah, I'm wondering if you all have any fun hiking tips. Maybe, Edward, you were forced on a hike, like I'm going to force you on one. And what happened, or Alyson, if you have any good hiking stories, because the hiking season is upon us, and I for one am very excited to try and get out there. So if anyone doesn't know, the hills of Madrid, the mountains, all of that, very beautiful. So or so I've been told and seeing pictures, because clearly I haven't been there yet. So yeah, that's a goal for this year, and hopefully Edward will join me. All right, bye.
I don't know if I'm going to join.
You have to join. I want to join.
I have to join. I hate hiking.
I'm about to fly to Spain just to join.
You'll be really disappointed.
I love hiking, but I am not like
really?
a hiker TM. Like,
okay.
I don't have the hiking boots. I don't have like the backpack with the water bottle built in. I don't have I don't have like all the fancy gear, but I love hiking. I just throw on like some yoga pants and some tennis shoes, and I'm like, YOLO, if I fall on my bum, I fall on my bum. Who cares?
Well, I mean, what kind of hiking are you doing in these yoga pants and tennis shoes that you think you're going to fall on your butt a lot?
None. I'm not doing anything like super
like,
intense, but I'm just like, I don't have like the gear, you know?
Yeah. Well, I don't think anyone has gear to protect the boat. So I think you're okay.
Like if you wore good hiking boots, then they wouldn't be slippery.
Oh, okay. I really thought you were talking about the pants, and I was like, no, I think you're fine with the pants, but the shoes.
I'm pretty sure bikers are the only ones with padded bum pants.
Actually, shoes just remind me of another hike that I went on. I was trying to think of all these hikes I've been on. Mm-hmm. There are a lot.
For someone who hates hiking, I'm pretty sure you've been on more than me.
I have, and we could take out the fact that I was a Boy Scout. We don't even talk about those hikes. Right?
We're not talking about Boy Scout hikes.
Right. Like, if you take those ones out, I've still been on more hikes probably than you have.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I don't enjoy them. I can tell you why I don't like them. I can tell you where it stemmed from. Backpacking during Boy Scouts. That's where it all stemmed from. I hated it. It's so miserable. And what did we do for like a fun activity? Once we like set up camp, we did more hiking. Like, what is the point of that? Sorry, we can't get into it.
Your cult, you were in the wrong cult growing up. I'm sorry, I gotta say it.
I've been in many cults, one could argue. And one could argue that a cult is just not good for anybody in general, any cult. But
well,
I think you're
yes,
right.
True.
I think you're right. But
anyway.
Where do you, we hiked once.
We hiked together. So
I forgot about this until I saw it on the thing.
Hiked in Cinque Terre between, we didn't hike between all 5 villages, and we didn't do the longest stretch.
God.
But we did do one of we did like the longer single stretch. It was between, we did from Vernazza to Monterosso, which was like a longer stretch.
Yes, it was like from 4 to 5, right? Or 1 to 2, depending on which way you look at it.
Yes, 4 to 5 or 1 to 2, depending on which direction you're coming from. Yeah. I loved it. I had a really good time. I thought it was nice. The views were beautiful. It was nice weather. We were there in February, so like off season, but we had a really nice day that day. Open. Yeah. It was sunny. It was not too cold. Like, I think
it was a good day.
It was a good day.
Weather. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. Here's the thing is I fucking hate hiking, but I like enjoy it when I'm on it usually, right?
Yeah.
So I did have a good time, but I fucking hate hiking. So the thing I remember most from that day is that we played the game. I don't remember what the beginning of the game was.
The alphabet game. I don't know what it's called, but you're like,
there's many forms.
Yeah.
It was like my crazy aunt
like went to the store and bought an apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the next person's like, my crazy aunt went to the store and bought an apple and butter. Like.
Yes, but I think actually specifically, I think someone said Batman comic. That rings a bell.
There was not actually a lot of food being listed. It was like,
no, because you're trying to fuck everybody else up.
Yeah, it was the wildest things.
Yeah. So we did do that. That was probably the only hike we have been on together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've actually I was, thinking through a lot of this, and I'm like, a lot of my hiking outside of Boy Scout hiking was done probably in Italy.
Italy, yeah. Oh, you know what? I don't think you can call this a hike, but do you remember when we went to the Red Rocks?
I was thinking that. I was like, so what constitutes a hike? Because I've been on lots of very long walks.
That was a very, very, very long walk, and there were some rocks involved, but like, I don't think we can call that a hike.
Yeah, I don't know. That one was iffy. Like when I went to Denmark, we went and like saw one of the migrating sand dunes like up in the north called Rabjörg Mile or whatever. How do you pronounce that?
Okay.
And I was like, was it a hike? Like, because we walked a lot, like far. I had no shoes on because it was sand. And I mean, but we did like park the car and like walk a bunch. But I don't know. Does it count as a hike? I don't
what
really think
constitute a hike versus like a trek?
Oh.
Or just a long walk?
Well, a trek always involves a story. So all of these hikes could be treks to me.
True. These all have good stories.
They do. I have some great stories. Do you want to hear about the time I ran into 300 sheep?
I do actually. That reminds me, you have to have seen this. It's going all over TikTok and Instagram lately. There was like a lady running in the countryside in France, and a bunch of like sheep randomly, like she came across a bunch of sheep, and they thought she was like hurting them. They just were following her on her run.
Terrifying.
Like all of them. She was running and they're all just like following along behind her.
Wait, okay, that's perfect. So one summer in Italy, I was up in Ceresole Reale, which is like a national park up in like, I think it's called like Paradiso, some Gran Paradiso, some shit like that. Up in the north in the Alps, right?
Yep.
And we're on a hike, we like get up top, and we like run into this like shepherd who like went down to the village to like buy some stuff before he goes to his like summer hut, right? He's just like some Eastern European man who like has a summer job taking care of these sheep for like the actual farmer or shepherd rather, because he's like on holiday, right? So he's got like his summer job, just like herding sheep in northern Italy, right? And he's like, have you seen like 300 sheep? To which all of us were like, no, we haven't seen like 300 sheep. And 300 is like I think I'm lowballing it. It was probably like 400, 500 sheep. And we were like, no. And this was hard for me to understand at the time because I wasn't that good at Italian necessarily. And he was also speaking at like super choppy, thick accent, you know? So like the family is also like, what's going on? So we get up to this like beautiful sort of like cratery type situation, mountain views. There's like a river, like, well, pond, you know, stream. We're like having lunch. And all of a sudden, we hear like bells ringing in the distance. And out of nowhere, single file line from like 4 different areas, just like the 300 sheep just reappear, right? And like gather. And the guy's like, I found them. They were just like somewhere else. Like, of course they were. But what ended up happening was we were like, we need to go and like see these sheep closer, you know? Mm-hmm. And by accident, a huge group of them started following the kids and like wouldn't leave them alone. And it was like terrifying to be around that many sheep because they're just like getting very close. It's very close, very scary. But yeah, one time I went on a hike and witnessed 300 some sheep reappear to a shepherd.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
I can't believe he was just like, have you seen 300 sheep?
Oh yeah, he was like, has anybody seen them? Because if he knew which direction like someone had seen them in, like
he could find them.
There. Yeah,
but it's just like
so random.
How you just lose them? Like, where are they hiding? How do they just disappear?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, and they all have bells, so like they were loud as shit.
Yeah, you hear them jingling from a mile away.
Anyway, yeah. Do you want another story? Do you have a story?
Oh my gosh! Well, I've been on like a few hikes in Maryland. We're so close to the Appalachian Trail. And there's just like a lot of good hiking. There's this place called like Sugarloaf Mountain. One hike I did was Annapolis Rock. So it's just like, I don't know, maybe like 45 minutes north of me. Maybe not even. So there's like tons of really good hiking close by. But it's pretty easy. Like they have shorter loops and trails and stuff. So you can be like, okay, I only want to do like 4 or 5 miles, 6, 7, 8 miles, like no big deal. But you still get like really pretty views of, you know, like the mountains and like the Appalachian Trail and all that stuff. So I've done a few of those in Maryland. Those are really nice. One that I haven't.
Like in the fall.
Yes, in the fall when like the leaves are changing, the weather's perfect. I mean, that's the one thing that like Pilar is so right about. It's hiking season now. Like with the weather, once the leaves changing, obviously you get like really pretty views and stuff. But then it's just like,
especially in Appalachia.
Yeah, I just love the crisp fall air.
Same.
But
you should go on a hike.
Should go on a hike.
Anyway, continue. What are you gonna say? I have more
so
stories.
There's this one trail south of me, and it's called the Billy Goat Trail. And these things are supposed to be like difficult. And every year I say I'm gonna do it, and then I don't do it. I'm like, I can't do it by myself. I got to do it with friends or something. But
so you haven't done this hike yet?
I've not done it yet.
Oh, I thought you said you had.
I have to do it though before I leave Maryland. Like before I move out of Maryland, I have to do Billy Goat Trail. And I say every year, I say I'm going to do it, but
just like go next weekend if you're around. Are you around next weekend?
No, I will be in Iowa next weekend.
Oh, so no, you will not be around.
I will be swimming through cornfields.
Would you like to hear about the time where I made polenta on top of a hill after a hike?
I have actually heard about the time you made polenta on top of a hill after a hike, but I think the listeners might enjoy hearing about these polenta making.
It's honestly not that crazy of a story. We just hiked up from a village that had like no name to another village that had no name. And it was like a village in the sense of like there were stone houses that like had like maybe electricity. There was like definitely a church, but it was like no one was here except for like the festival that was happening that weekend, right? Like no one comes up here. And very much that vibe, right? So we get up there, something's happening that I'm not paying attention to. That's like religious. I'm told I don't really have to pay attention to it. I'm like, great, perfect. So I'm sitting around doing nothing, twiddling my thumbs, and someone's like, "Would you like to help make the polenta?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll help make the polenta." And so there I am, standing with a stick from the forest that someone just grabbed in a massive like cast iron like witch's brew cauldron situation. Just stirring polenta because you have to like stir it continuously. Miserable. And also that summer I had told the family that I was living with that like I wasn't like drinking wasn't good for me. Like it was like I didn't want to drink that summer. So and you know everyone's always like, oh here, have some wine, have some of that, some of that. And so that August I was like, I'm not drinking. So taking a month off, I'll just tell them that I'm like allergic to it or like it doesn't react well with me, right? So that way I don't have to like be pressured to be asked about it, right?
Yeah. I feel like that's a common problem with wine too. Like some people are very allergic to what is it, like the tannins or something?
Oh, maybe, possibly. I fully just went in with a lie. But this is towards the end of the month, so everyone obviously knew this. And while I'm stirring, they've also brought out like homemade Prosecco. And someone was like, oh, would you like some? And I was like, yes. Like I can say no to Italian wines because I can always get them somewhere else. You know, I can get them later on life, right? But homemade Prosecco, not necessarily. And the mom was like, no, he can't. And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, give me the Prosecco. I don't care.
Please give me. I will die on the top of this hill with this polenta stick for some free Prosecco.
Yeah, the polenta was great. Actually, that's the last time I've actually probably had polenta. I haven't had it since. Maybe I'll make some this winter. But yeah, it's the time I did a hike. See, all my hikes have stories that are like not about the hiking.
Just so random.
Yeah. There's probably one I do have to talk about, but do you have anything else? Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think the last time I had polenta was in California.
What did you have in your polenta?
It was a bunch of different mushrooms. It was just a bunch of veg.
Good.
It was really good.
I had the cheese polenta, and I think I also had meat polenta that day. There was like 3 types. It was like normal cheese, and I think some people had meat one. Very good. Polenta's great. Underrated.
It's very good. That also reminded me of when we went hiking in Castellan in France, and we hiked the Stations of the Cross up to that. It's literally like, if you look at this town, like in the middle of nowhere, it's like countryside, and then the gorge with like the water, obviously. And then there's this huge rock that's like way straight up in the distance. And
it was giving Pride Rock.
It's Pride Rock.
It was giving
and
Pride
it has
Rock.
A church on top, and that's it. Nothing else. And this church too was like probably no electricity. You just go up there. It's deserted. There's no one around. The door is open. It just made me think of that. That was an intense hike.
Speaking of gorge, we've got to talk about Gorge de Loup, which you lucky enough were not able to participate in.
I was not invited.
Just kidding. You were lucky enough to not be invited. I don't even know where to start with the Gorge de Loup story. Have we alluded to this before?
We may have alluded to it, but just been like, we're not talking about that. Okay,
well, we'll talk about it for a solid 30 seconds. The Gorge de Loup hike, it's an iconic hike at Pont de Loup. Everything's Dulu over there. And we went to look at a candy, like, what do you call it? Confiserie? Like a candy making shop?
Yeah, confiserie, because they're known for like their violet candies there, which are so good.
Yeah,
I must
Florian's
say.
has great stuff. We went to the one in Nice. I showed everyone the one in Nice because I'd been like in high school. And then I was like, well, Alex wanted to go to Gorge de Loup. And I was like, well, 2 for 1. So we went on a hike after seeing this candy shop making place, right? Factory. I don't know what you would call it. And I have no idea what's going on. We're just hiking, we're following, we're doing the thing. There's a trail, we cross, we make a left, we make a right. All of a sudden, there is no more trail. There's just lefts and rights and ups and downs. And we're all in like thickets of thorns, completely fucking lost. And this is like, not like gorgeous, we're lost somewhere. Like it is probably like February or March. It must have been February.
It was March.
It was March? Is that when we went skiing too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it was March because it was the weekend we were supposed to go skiing, but then we missed the bus. And so it's just like vegetation that is mostly dead and like just starting to maybe bloom, like the beginning of spring. So it's like just miserable. And it's like getting kind of like hot in terms of like the sun is beating down. So we're like in clothes that are like kind of warm. We eventually somehow like make it through a no trespassing zone. And we make it to somewhere. And then at that point, Bobby and Alex were also like, let's go up to this other thing and see another thing. And I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me that you guys want to continue to go hike somewhere. I'm like, can we get on the next bus out of here? And we do eventually. We do the thing that they want to do, and then we get on a bus and we are done. There's a video of it that's private on YouTube that no one else can see. Maybe one of the worst hikes I've been on.
Release the video.
There's no way I'm releasing any of those videos. I actually had a conversation with one of my students this week, and they were like talking about YouTube. Oh, they were talking about how people sign off on YouTubes. They were like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell or whatever people say now. And I was like, that's so funny. I don't watch a lot of YouTube now. And I was explaining how I only know the like and subscribe, comment below part. I don't know the like moniker for the notification bell thing off the top of my head. Mm-hmm. And she was like, oh, wow, you're old. And I was like, okay, fuck off. And then
were there notification bells when you were doing YouTube? Because those show up at the top, but everything else is like, subscribe, and comment below.
Right, exactly. So I know it's a thing, but I was like, no, those were not there before. And I was like, because I used to make YouTube videos. And she was like, you used to make YouTube videos? And I was like, before you even ask, you cannot see them. And she was like, are they on the internet though? And I was like, no, they're private. No one else can see them except for my friends who have the links. So, I mean, what if you could rip it technically and then destroy our friendship and post it somewhere? But that's up to you.
There's something that I'm sure a lot of other people know about that I also know about. And I bet you any money I can find the videos on there. But I'm going to...
You have the link to it.
To all of them? I thought I only had the link to the Paris one.
If you get to one, you can get to the playlist that gets to them all, I'm pretty sure.
Love.
I'm pretty sure.
But I'm going to do the method that I'm thinking of for like the average internet user and see if I can find them on there.
I don't know what that would be, but good luck to you, Detective Pikachu.
And I will let you know how it works out, and I will let everyone know how it works out. And if you would like to talk to us about anything at all.
Transition.
Listen, the sign off is what it is. Give us a call at 202-630-4509. If you want to send us an email, you can find us at amessagefrompod@gmail.com. We are on socials, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, at a message from. We would love to hear from you. Don't forget to rate and review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get all of your podcasts from. And we will talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.